All right, y'all, we live. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing help up, better understand the self. Ain't hit YouTube and make sure YouTube know what's going on. But yeah, we're going over in this video. I'm going over Obama and I'm going over some FBA standing on business in Staten Island. Shout out to her. She was on a Godfrey show, so I had to tap into that. But I'm gonna get first. Y'all know I'm gonna go over what Pink Book Lessons. She went over Obama, and we know Obama did some weirdo stuff. We know Obama did some weirdo stuff. I'm gonna wait for everybody to tap in. When he did that, he said our black boys need gay men around them. Now we know this was an agenda move. Blessings, man. Appreciate you, brother. Damn mob. The mob. I appreciate that. But check it. I'm gonna let everybody coming in. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Always showing support. I'm gonna go over some FBA standing on business, and I'm going over Barack Obama. He's destroying Gen Z.
One of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And look at how they're all in agreement with this nonsense.
I don't agree with that. So you trying to see, I know he didn't raise his kids like this. This makes no sense. You want somebody to give you opinion about your dad. They trying to, y'all see they up to no good. These devils.
Obama is up here saying straight men are just not enough. Even an active present father isn't enough. He's saying to raise boys, you have to have multiple men brought around this boy child and disrespect the father in the process by including all these other men to teach his son how to undermine his authority and disrespect him too. Keep listening to him. Let him tell you just what type of man you need to bring around your boys.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't outlawed, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant.
Now we gotta understand was Barack Obama abused, bro? For you to think like that, you had to been abused, hurt people. Something happened. That professor may have did something to Barack, and he don't really want to say that.
You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
So Obama said the straight father isn't enough to raise a boy child. They need a gay man to teach them compassion and keep them in line. What line exactly? Well, I think we all know that. But I guess we're also tossing out the role of mother in this whole situation because Obama went on his wife's podcast. All of them up there pushing femininity on boys. Michelle Obama too. They sat up there echoing each other, promoting the grooming of boys by feminine men. A lot was said and we're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Won't waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
And
did you know there's an easier way to find and hire a lawyer? Introducing Nolo.com.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything.
Barack, what? Why? It's like there's an agenda to eradicate masculine men. What is this war against men? I just can't understand it. Why does a straight man need to confide in a feminine man for anything?
Exactly. If a straight man is doing this with a gay man, then he's not a straight man. He's a gay man too. Yes, if a straight man is looking for feminine energy, he's supposed to call a woman, not a feminine gay man. So not only is Obama trying to normalize grown gay men grooming young boys, but he's also trying to erase and replace real femininity.
Let's normalize men being men. The agenda you're pushing, it's not working. People are not falling for that anymore. Not even people in that community. It's not cool. I'm raising a young man, and I want him to be just that, a young man. He can go to his father, his uncle, his cousins, or any other masculine man to get the answers that he needs. He doesn't need to confide in a man who can't even relate to the issues he's going through.
Barack Obama said little boys need to be around gay men to learn from them. Mind you, done lost your motherfucking mind. Ain't no motherfucking way you to say some goofy shit like that. But I ain't surprised because I already knew you was a goof ass. It's just a lot of folks just not catching on to you a goof ass. It's like people been saying this shit for years.
Barack Obama is in the news again because he was on Michelle Obama's podcast and he said that he thinks all boys need more than their fathers as role models. He said that he thinks that all boys need a gay role model because that's what he had growing up. Now, am I surprised he said that? No, because he is America's first gay president, and that has been editorialized. But I want to challenge Barack Obama. Since you are the Democrats' favorite black president, and you say you're from the hood, I challenge you to go to the most dangerous projects, where you know there are not many fathers because they were locked up under Reagan, Clinton, and Biden, and say some like that. I double dare you.
So Barack Obama was on Michelle Obama's podcast or something, and he said that boys need gay men in their lives. What the is he talking about? The word need is a strong word, bro. I'm just trying to understand, like, why would Barack Obama say that? Like, what was the point of even saying that? He knows that's not true. No one wants to be forced onto anybody. Gay people don't want to be forced onto nobody. Hi, I'm gay. I need to be in your life. No. Hi, I'm black. You're white. I need to be in your life. No, that's what? No, you don't. We can talk and be friends, and I can see if I like you, but there's no need for any of that. What the fuck is it talking about? Like, with Barack Obama, it's like that rule: you're cool till you're not cool no more. And right now, Barack Obama is on his uncool arc. His character arc, he's on the uncool character arc right now. It's fucking crazy. Motherfuckers is out here really just trying to push anti-masculinity. Like, they want every man to just be a feminine product. It's why? A very feminine man, he's not going to go to war. He ain't dying for nobody. He'll be like, that I need to go get my nails done. He's not going to do any of that. He's not going to go to war. Masculine men are the one who built this goddamn society. They built America. They go to war and they die in a ditch. I don't understand this massive push to end masculinity in America, in the Western society. Why? I don't know, man.
And not only are they pushing the agenda here in America, they're trying to force this same agenda on the rest of the world. We already know America stay jumping in somebody's war, but this strategy is poor because when it's time to fight and you look around, well, who's supposed to fight? And it's not just the LGBT. They have successfully weakened the male population in general. The younger guys coming up are severely lacking in the manhood department. That would include the straight ones too. We have to be honest. The Gen Z male was not raised the same as the baby boomer male or even the Gen X male. Men from the older generations were taught certain skills at a very young age that made them into productive men. Back in the day, a group of men could all get together and literally build a house. The men from one family could come together, and that's how they provided value to each other. That didn't just benefit them, but the women and children attached to them too. Well, now they soften Gen Z boys so much, you have Gen Z men that never even mowed the lawn or wasn't the consistent source of yard maintenance or general maintenance for the residents they grew up in. Back in the day, boys started cutting the yard at 10, 12 years old, and by no later than 13, it was fully his responsibility. They intentionally did all of this with Obama's help to weaken the latest generation of young men.
Yeah.
This is not a business. This is a $100 billion industry leveraging your fear and greed to drain money,
weakening the generation.
I just watched a clip of Barack Obama saying that boys need a gay father figure in their life or a gay male figure in their life. And Barack Obama, what you got going on, man? No, they don't. The gay is a sexual act. It's what you do in your bedroom. What you do in your bedroom has nothing to do with your personality and your character.
Obama said, what? Huh? Nah, see, now I got to call my mom and pops, man. I've been trying to tell them folks about Obama, but they're going to have to hear me this time. Obama said boys need to have more exposure than just from their father. Their father can't be everything to them. They need to have a friend, a boy that swing the other way to teach them sympathy and empathy. Brother, I ain't never heard something as dumb as that a day in my life. Because you telling me I'm a father. So one, I'm all my son need from a father figure perspective. So telling fathers out here that your young boy, your son, need to have other dudes in his life to teach him stuff is crazy already.
Exactly. That was already wild disrespectful. Telling a father that him being active in his son's life isn't enough. He should have other men around, specifically a gay man, to teach his son. Teach his son what? To be gay? He's telling parents to basically set their own child up to be groomed by older gay men.
Yep.
That's one thing. Then you're going to jump over the mother. Because it's like, cool, I can't provide the empathy and sympathy. Let's just say. That's what your mama is for.
Obama took a jab at traditional masculine men to
see. If y'all don't know Epstein and these boy rings, they trying to make it to where Trev Jackson sent me something. It was a group where they're trying to push to let in America to make it to where men can mess with boys. This is really trying to happen. You got sick people that's really pushing this. So that Obama's saying this, when this group is out, it's like, bro, are you a part of the group or something? Like, what's going on?
Suggesting that they need help developing qualities like compassion and empathy, but in doing so, he also undermined women. After all, the natural complement to a man isn't another man. If you're arguing that boys need more nurturing, why bypass the role of mothers entirely? It's almost as if both biological parents, the man and the woman, are being dismissed as inadequate to raise their sons, and somehow gay men are uniquely qualified to step in. That logic just doesn't add up.
How you gonna jump over the mama and say that's why you should have a friend that swing the other way to teach that to your son? Bro, Obama finna piss me off. He already did. Then he said, yeah, because you never know. Whenever you have a son one day, and if he turns out to swing the other way, now he got a role model for him. And now he got somebody like, that's crazy, but I'm not gonna hold you.
And if Obama is telling parents to put gay men all around their boys, well, they'll become one too after the grooming is done. This is really a whole setup, and Obama need to be fried for this.
I gotta call my folks, because that might be, nah. Like having a 2-parent household is already hard enough, right? Dudes having their fathers, boys having fathers in their life is already hard enough. Now you saying if you got a father, if they got a father, that's not good enough. Your dad can't be everything to you. You need to have a boy, a man in your life that swing the other way. That's crazy.
Obama, now it feels like you're asking for it. So just recently, Barack and Michelle Obama would go on a podcast where they would address their recent divorce allegations. In the midst of discussing the allegations, Barack Obama made the claim that young boys need a gay man in their life for guidance and that only having a father around isn't enough. He believes being around gay men helps young boys develop a broader perspective. But is that not what a mom and dad is for? I mean, your household had only one father in it, right?
Barack Hussein Obama has lost his mind. I cannot believe he hopped on Michelle Obama's podcast and said that God-forsaken nonsense. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Barack Obama said boys don't need just their father in their life as a father figure because he can only be one dad. You need another male in your life to give you perspective on the father. And that male should be a homosexual. And I'm here to tell you right now, my father is in my life. And you know who else I had as a role model outside of my father? I had my granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great-great-granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My uncles. You know who else I had as a role model? My cousins. And this ain't no diss to the community, the LBGT community, but this is Barack Obama saying this nonsense. We need more men to be in our kids' lives more than ever, especially within the black community. We need the fathers. How dare he get out there, use the LBGTQ folks as a pawn to be able to spread his nonsense? And that's exactly what that is. It's plenty of role models to be out here to teach the kids. What is a homosexual male going to teach me? What is a homosexual male going to be able to teach some of these boys? They need their father in their lives, and they need to be around some other men that are not homosexual.
I guess Obama is trying to get them to teach them lessons on how to do hair and makeup and how to get in bed with other men. I'm saying his whole message carries a predatory tone. And then he's trying to push this in the black community when he was never even raised by black people at all. I can't. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this below. I want to thank everybody who supported this channel. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below.
So basically, like I'm saying, NAMBLA. Let me pull that up for him, Trev. This is what Trev said. NAM, what was that? Trev again? Was it NAMBLA? Check this out, y'all. So this is what I think. This is what I feel like Barack is down with, bro. You got to be down with this organization. So look at what they're trying to do, right? This is what they promoting over here in America. So it's North America's Man-Boy Love Association. This is a group of pedophilia and pedestrian advocacy organization in the United States. It works to abolish age of consent laws criminalizing adult sexual involvement with minors and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contact with minors that did not involve what it considers coercion. So this is some of the weirdo stuff that's going on right now, where it's men out there just like the Diddy stuff. They like to take advantage of boys. And this is what's going on. They're trying to groom them. What they say, like grooming them. But it's just weird stuff, man. But we got to touch on it and we got to expose it because they're going to use black people, of course. Well, Obama ain't even black. We got to understand black was just a classification for people in America. It wasn't like black wasn't like everything. So we just finding out more about FBA. But check this out. That's the bad news. But now we got the good news of this lady, Miss Dixon, I think her name was. I'm finna play this. She actually standing on business with the lineage. Check this out.
All 6 of my kids. I'm like, tell me. I just told my son today walking in the mall, I'm like, tell me who you are, Jonah. And he's like, I know, Mom. I'm like, no, tell me. And he's like, I'm 9th generation direct descendant to the first free black to purchase property on Staten Island. I'm like, and I need you to keep saying that every single day. Like, I need you. I tell him that all the time.
Because every day something is saying that he's not.
Yeah, like you gotta be up, you gotta be. I mean, I put him in the best school, so he's always around, like all these other types of kids, and they're like, you're late for school, and I'm like, yeah, he's late because he's an entreprenur. He don't need to be here. He's gonna make money regardless. Just, like I don't need this. How old is he? He's 11.
And 11, and they.
Now this woman traced her lineage back to the 1700s, and still got the business in Staten Island. And they tried to push and get her family out of there, and she gonna tell the story. This is very big for Americans, people who have been here, and for you to know that you got people. It's like 98% of black people that are here are really from America, like that. Only a small percentage is from.
They learned racism at 3,
right? So they taught them. They stay a stupid shit. My kids had to go through that their whole lives, like
and then they
called my kids still,
and so it's like we got to move on. No, but you keep teaching the young ones your bullshit.
Yeah.
You keep
So I like you were saying that whole confidence kind of elite kind of like, and like what she was saying, I kind of like, I'm tapping in because she was talking about inferior like behaviors. Like, and when I walk around on Staten Island, I don't ever walk around with my head down. I don't ask anybody for any help. I don't, so everybody always thinks she got everything together. She doesn't need anything to do, work her restaurant or her events or anything like that. She doesn't need us. And I'm like, no, it's not that I don't need you. It's just that you see me walking in alignment with my authority and with my confidence and with and I've been appointed. My ancestors sent me here to do this. So like you guys all think you're supposed to have all of these things going on here, but I'm here and I've been here. My people are here. My ancestors are still here. So you can't do nothing to move me. You can't tell me I can't be here. So like my black restaurant is the only black restaurant on Staten Island.
This is a perfect transition.
Yeah.
Right. Your restaurant
My
is
soul
called,
food
what's it
restaurant
called?
is Shawnee's House at 381 Van Duzer Street in Stapleton. It is the only soul food restaurant on Staten Island that is considered to be a fine dining restaurant on Staten Island. It is the only restaurant to ever receive 2 stars in the New York Times out of any restaurant that's on Staten Island, including the white restaurants. So what I'm up against is all of the white restaurants, every type of restaurant, not just white, but they're all questioning, why is this girl getting all of the attention? Why is her restaurant making all this noise? Why is she the only one that is bringing around the entire world as a destination and attraction for New York City? They don't understand. I'm sitting here saying, if my ancestors came here and did it first, you tried to wipe them out, and then you didn't want to tell it in the history books, why don't you think I'm supposed to be here doing this?
So I got a question.
Yeah.
How did it all start? Who was the first person?
So my ancestor, Captain John Jackson, was
Captain John Jackson.
Captain John Jackson Henry, and I have to say that because I am a Henry. There are 4 founding families, which are the Henrys, the Landons, the Coopers, and the Moody Pedros. And I am a Henry. I just found this out recently that Captain John Jackson is Henry. Captain John Jackson Henry. I was just saying Captain John Jackson. Okay. He owned his own ship. He was coming from Snow Hill, Maryland. He came up here. He found himself on Staten Island. And when he found himself on Staten Island, this was in the 1700s. Now, 1700s. So the paperwork that my mom found yesterday, I was telling everybody the story about how he came here in 1799. My mom looked at the paperwork. She's like, no, Shanae, it says 1700s, like the 1700s, like 1700. And I'm like, what?
Early?
Yes.
So 100 years earlier than
before America was America.
Right.
Damn.
So
basically, y'all, it's black people that could trace their lineage back to the 1700s, 1600s right here in America. And it's people that'll say, how you from America? Like they'll talk about black people from America when black people can chase that's in America, which is the people that was considered black. Black wasn't considered for everybody, but for people who was in America. We can date our lineage back further than anybody else. So, but they'll talk crazy when you say, you know what I mean, you're from America. Like, but where are you from? Though?
Traveled up here, and then he purchased Sandy Ground, the land, as the first black purchaser of land.
How did he travel?
On a ship.
On a ship.
Came on a ship. And he traveled here. He met my great-great-great-grandmother, who was a full-blown Native American.
Do you know what kind of Indian?
Pre-slavery.
Yeah, this is sort of like this is free. Yes, he was free black. Yeah.
So what kind of Indian? Do you know what tribe?
I'm from the Lakota Sioux tribe.
Sioux tribe.
Yeah, LAKOTASIOU, and we were coming from the Dakotas, and we came here to Staten Island.
From the Dakotas. Wow.
From the Dakotas. Yeah.
That's like Midwest.
Yes. So that tribe migrated to Staten Island and built their reservation. And then my great-great-great-grandfather met her, and they created a family. So I'm a part of that. So they purchased an great-great-great-grandfather.
Great.
Yes. Three. I'm three greats. Yes. So I'm 8th generation, and goes back. My grandmother was 6. He was first. They came here, they purchased in 1828, and then they built my church in 1850. The 2 cottages that are still standing that are across the street from my church also built around that time. our counterparts did a lot of things while we were there. So we owned our own farm. We were the first farm black settlers there, and we were the first black oystermen there. So they were oystering, and then when our counterparts found out that we were oystering and opening up, sort of like
when white people found out, what happened?
Yes, they were opening up socially. They were like socially elite people opening up these like members only clubs and restaurants and oyster bars. And when they caught wind that was happening, they polluted the water so that you couldn't oyster anymore.
Damn.
And so when they polluted the water so you couldn't oyster anymore, my ancestors were like, okay, well, you pollute the water. We're still farming, so we're good.
They always pollute our waters. That's been going on since a long time, since the 1600s. And I talk about it all the time with Anniston, Alabama, where Johnny Cochran sued and got $300 million when they polluted the waters there. They always attack, when they can't get you, and they attack the water.
Always gotta be villains. They always gotta be villains. Like that's why I'm just like y'all always gotta be villains.
You don't understand that if in order to be tall,
you gotta put money on
they
always gotta be villains.
It didn't kill anything because you just killed the oysters, but you didn't kill the vibe. So while they were there and they were still farming, they were farming asparagus, blueberries, sweet potatoes, and strawberries.
Damn.
So when they found out that we were still prosperous, we were farming and we were still pushing things out, they came and they burnt the ground so that they burnt the farms. So when they burnt the farms,
this is all before Tulsa and Black Wall Street.
Yes, this is all before Black Wall Street. We were doing our thing.
1800s.
So when they burnt the farm, what happened was to what you believed was our demise became.
See, they've been burning our stuff down, doing this kind of behavior for a long time. It wasn't just Black Wall Street. Yeah, Trump got something to do with that.
Your demise, because when it burnt the ground, it burnt up the rest of the crops, but the sand became so conducive for strawberries that they flourished like you were in California. And the strawberries went crazy all over the burnt land. And so that's where the name Sandy Ground came from. And then when he figured that out, he discovered it. He said, let me take my ass over here to Anguilla. So he takes his boat, he takes his ship, and he goes to Anguilla, and he establishes in the richest part of Anguilla, Sandy Ground, Anguilla, and then takes a straight shot through Anguilla and goes to St. Martin and establishes Sandy Ground St. Martin. And then he comes back to Staten Island to complete his mission of building out this whole tribe, this situation. And so now he does all of that and he passes and my family takes over. Now we are the oldest community inhabited by its original descendants in the United States. We're the oldest continuous community in the US with its original descendants in the US.
How old was he when he passed?
I can't remember how old he was. But I know that his tombstone is in our protected cemetery on our grounds, and all the tombstones are dated back in the 1800s. Like you can see, like the old ones, like oh my God, they're still here, they're still buried.
What were you
here.
saying about Harriet Tubman? Remember?
So my ancestor, Captain John Jackson, used to pick up Harriet Tubman multiple times in New Jersey and bring her with the enslaved group.
What?
And
that's like a celebrity from the past.
So she was she was a celebrity. She stayed in the house.
About to go.
I said when
is your mind secretly sabotaging your success? What if there was a way you could instantly stop self-sabotage?
When one of the news stations asked me, "Oh, well, how do you think you feel?" I said, "I think it's pretty dope to know that my ancestor had a cold one with Harriet Tubman and then put her back on the boat and took her to Jersey because she was seeking refuge in the house where my grandmother was born." So she stayed in that house where my grandmother was born. On Staten Island.
What the fuck?
So he would keep taking her back to Jersey. So they started seeing the traffic coming back and forth of the boat going back and forth into New Jersey. And they were like, what's that? What's happening over there? And that's how the ferry system got inspired. Because it was like, we got to make sure that the ship goes back and forth from Staten Island to New York City. Because they saw that happening. This was all before a bridge was built. So before bridges were built, we fought to not build a bridge. Like, no, we don't really want a bridge. We're good. And what they did was they promised us you'll never have to pay a toll or a tax to cross the bridge. You'll be able to travel back and forth for free. So when they applied the tax, we were like, well, you apply the tax. Now we have to travel back and forth and we got to pay. We don't understand it. We're unsure what's going on. They even fought us on building assisted living for senior citizens in our family. They fought us. We took it all the way to DC. My family was like, we want to build retirement homes here in Sandy Ground. They said, no, we don't want you to do that because Black people have grandchildren very young, and then you guys will densely populate and we'll have to build more schools out here. So you guys can't build facilities out here on our grounds, like on our land. We had to sell land, $9 million worth of land. We still own much of the land, but we had to sell land just to like pay taxes because they said, you guys have all that land and the trees are growing, and if you don't pay the tax on it, we're going to take it from you. So we had to sell it to pay tax, like so that you didn't take stuff from us. So we're constantly out there trying to combat things that are going on. And now that you see, because I done let the cat out the bag, y'all wasn't ready for me. Like you weren't ready for me. Like I was coming ready to be rehearsed and ready to stunt on you. Yeah. I'm going to open up a top restaurant. The food critic that came into the restaurant, he studied my lineage 30 years ago when I was in middle school and didn't know that I was a Sandy Ground descendant. So when he gave me my 2 stars, he had no clue that I was a descendant of Sandy Ground. I said, so you spoke to my ancestors while you were sitting around in the cemetery studying the lineage of my people, and they told you keep my name in your mouth because she's coming 30 years from now. She's gonna come up out of this recess thing in middle school, and she's gonna be cooking, and I need you to make sure you take care of her. So it's like that full circle thing is like my ancestors are very real. They're really walking around out there like you guys don't really got it, and so like now we're ready to take it over. So now it's really like I'm really walking around with that air about me and about my ancestors because I'm like, y'all, you wasn't ready.
And this and Staten Island, all you think about is racist Italians and Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, and that's what when I'm talking to my customers, I'm like, yeah, I said, now you got this, and this is about U.S. history, but it's also world history because everybody from around the world is coming to a restaurant that has 6 tables and 20 seats. It's not just about Wu-Tang, Pete Davis, and the Mafia and the Mob Wives. It's about this right here.
Right.
This is what's going to sustain us, and it's going to also wipe and change the narrative of what things are that you guys believe Staten Island is, because it's not that.
2 questions. One, who's the most famous person who's come to your restaurant?
That's a good question.
Either famous, a celebrity, or like political, or either whichever, any type of.
I've had Elvis Duran. He's on the radio. Al Roker's been there. I had L.A. Reid and his whole family come.
Oh wow!
Ooh, nice.
And somebody everybody in the neighborhood was like, "How you get L.A. Reid to come to Staten Island?" And I talked to them on the phone. They're very cool.
Nice.
Who else? Alexander Smalls opened up the first fine dining soul food restaurant in Manhattan. But he's an opera singer.
Oh wow!
He came there. Eric Sermon.
Eric Sermon from EPMD, baby, the Green Eyed Bandit.
He came. Wu-Tang doesn't. Well, Capadonna came. He shot a documentary. He shot a documentary in the restaurant.
Oh, did he?
And a piece of it, and then Method Man shot a music video in there.
Oh wow!
But I did like a lot of like personal stuff for them, like at home. Like I worked with Raekwon in Texas, and I did some stuff for Method Man at home.
Weren't you personal chef for somebody?
I was personal chef to a lot of people. Charlamagne, Teddy Riley.
Oh wow!
I worked with Cardi B. I worked with Kevin Gates. I worked with
Kevin Gates,
Little Kim. I did her birthday party. I did Ed Norton's movie Motherless Brooklyn. I worked with Bruce Willis right before he was diagnosed.
Wow.
Right before the pandemic. Lou Pepper Williams, I did him during the pandemic. He came to Brooklyn. Came to Brooklyn for a basketball game.
Yeah.
He asked for food, and then when nobody could go into the Barclays Center because it was the pandemic and it was pictures, I was the only person that had ever been in there.
Oh, dang.
Because it was like, we need real food. So I got called for doing that. But I worked with A Boogie, Busta Rhymes, everybody. Like anybody you name, I've seen all of them. I've done television, news, music, movies, all that kind of stuff. I did it for 5 years. I did it all over the entertainment industry. So
that's amazing.
It was very big. I worked New York Yankees. I ran all the food and beverage over there. I did Dallas Cowboys. I worked food and beverage there.
Wow.
I did a lot of
put the work.
in.
Your resume is
my resume is crazy. Like it's been everybody.
But your legacy is what really had me like
that legacy.
Because to come from Black excellence like that, I couldn't imagine. Man, because I don't come from that, so it's like,
well, you do. You just don't know. You do come from it. You do come from it. You just don't know where it is. Like I always tell my people when they come into the restaurant, I'm like, think about it. If he went to.
Did you know there is a community of over 10,000 online business owners across North America working together to succeed on
Jersey picked Harriet up, picked up a group of people, brought them to Sandy Ground. and then helped them get free, and then took them back and forth into other areas. They just spread into Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, and it was like, go out there and go do what you got to go do to like build up. Like everybody didn't stay on Staten Island. People left. There were a lot of like that. Staten Island was big for dealing with ships and merchantmen. Like there was like a lot of that kind of stuff. Like Seaman Society.
Was Staten Island established?
I don't know, but I mean, you know that because it was an island.
Well, yeah. When was it sort of like?
Well,
you know what
I mean, I'm dating back only to where my family, the
1700s.
So like,
you did it. That's a good damn job.
Yeah. Even though my family comes from Jamaica, it's still like it's not given.
But you don't know.
You don't know the origin.
When what's Professor Lewis Gates? He'd take
he'll take DNA.
And he goes
know your heritage. Yeah.
Right. So I grew up with my great grandmother in the house, and she knew her great grandmother, and the stories wasn't given that.
16.
It wasn't given that. It was given.
He's like, well, you come complaining your blood clot.
Like,
you're from Kingston.
Yeah.
Machete family.
The stories was not given excellent.
Here it is, Staten Island.
I never looked. So
Here it is, Staten Island. Now one of New York's 5 boroughs, was first explored in 1524 by Giovanni de Verrazzano, like Verrazzano Bridge, and named Staten.
Exactly.
Oh, probably right.
That's the whitewash.
And then Staten, of course, the Dutch. Staten Island by Henry Hudson because it's Dutch, because there was New Amsterdam. Yeah. Staten Island.
Europeans got the names of everything. They got their names and it originated from the European.
Island, it's Staten Island by Henry Hudson, 1609, derived from the Dutch Staten General. The first permanent European settlement was established by the Dutch. They always say established. 1661 at Oud-Dorp. Oud-Dorp means old.
She's already saying, because my grandfather is Sioux, but he's Monacan from Sioux Nation. Monacan from Virginia.
Okay.
And so they were. If she has native, indigenous people, it goes before. What's the lineage of her indigenous lineage before that? It's before the 1700s.
So wait, what's the Indian tribe you said again?
The Lakota Sioux tribe.
Spell that, please.
Lakota.
Lakota.
You need to know your tribe too. Like you need to know. I like how she knew her tribe. He know his tribe. Everybody's starting to know their tribe. To say what tribe they came from when you from this land. Because back then that's how it was on America before the Europeans.
Sioux, SOIUS.
IOUS.
IOUX. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Watch this. The Lakota are one of the 3 groups that make up the Great Sioux Nation, along with the Eastern Dakota and Western Dakota, like you said. Lakota is also the name of their language, which is one of the 3 dialects spoken by the Sioux people. The Lakota are known as the Teton Sioux. The name Sioux is a French-Canadian term, while Lakota and Dakota are preferred by the people themselves. Okay, Sioux Nation, all right, shit. Yeah, man. And then the Lakota are further divided into 7 bands: Oglala, Brule, Hunkpapa, Minikonju, Itzapiko, Sihapsapa, Blackfeet, and Unahuna. They murdered all of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
God.
My grandmother
damn.
writing it down. See 1700s up at the top of the paper.
What the fuck?
This is Pod 5.
Yeah, she got
first
ancestors.
fully immersive.
And that's what our ancestors doing, man. They out here.
Damn.
But wrote it all
This
out.
is all like
It's all documented.
It's just like it feels like I'm at a museum.
Yeah.
And you got the museum shit. Like
No,
the
I
shit
have
that's
all of it.
Like, yeah, like the stuff you see in the glass, and you go, nah, it's right.
Yeah, and you allowed to touch it this time.
Move the macaroni. It's right by the macaroni. Yeah, that's the document of 1359.
Yeah.
Right by the cereal.
Yeah.
No, but this is wow, man. This blew me away. That's why you're I was like, I was just DM your ass. Hey, I got a podcast. You want to come talk about that? She's like, come here. I was like, "Then, oh, okay, man." And we talked for like an hour, right?
Yes,
we were
we
just
did.
yapping. I was like, "Dog, this is what we do."
Yeah.
we do.
And the fact that Staten Island, that it just tells you they just hide so much shit. And that's all they do, but shit's come out into the
It's
light.
coming out.
And that's what I love about social media.
Yeah.
I love it. Because I wouldn't have found you,
Right.
if there was no social
That's a
media.
good
If I
part of
wasn't
social
just
media.
going through my thing in the
Yep.
hotel. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awesome. I mean, it's like,
it's
But
crazy.
it also comes out because they're trying to diminish it. and they're
Yeah,
trying
but
to
people
hide
like you are gonna
If
stop
they're-
it from the
Oh, it's
iron.
done. It's a done
If they
deal.
weren't trying to hide it, we might just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But because they're trying to hide it
Well, that's
so
a
much,
blessing in disguise because they're
Yeah.
trying to hide it. Because it forces us to
we
dig
do it
deeper.
on, we gotta.
but when people say, yeah, they're gonna ban, I said they ain't banning shit because most of the books you learn from, you have to go buy on your own.
Yeah.
What fucking university is going to break down Black history other than the main shit, the regular shit they show in February?
Right.
I go, you gotta go and all our books are bought.
And you gotta buy. That's why I remember I told you I started. I don't buy nothing but hardcover.
Yeah.
Just so I'll have it.
Historic treasure on Staten Island, the oldest surviving free Black community in the U.S., is often overlooked by visitors to New York City. Isaac, they just skip it. Like they'll do like tours. They'll go, "What's that?" Okay, anyway. This
Yeah.
Italian, this pizza shop right here.
Right.
No, but what's that old thing that says 1709?
Well, look at this pizza shop that was open in 2021.
1709. That's just the address. Listen.
Wait, that's just the address.
It's hysterical.
That's just the 1709 street. There's 1701 too. Okay. Now the Italians and the Dutch, they created this wonderful church. Well, what's that old church that says 1452? That's another address from the back. Those are the 1400 streets. Now, this guy Luigi, he established it. But where's Harriet Tubman's photo doing right there on that boat? Yeah, that guy's a Harriet Tubman fan. He lives right there in 1409. Okay, he likes black women. Now listen.
All right, y'all. So they going in on pretty much, how white people, how white America treated Black businesses. But this was very good to see that this woman holding her family lineage business down, and that's what we gotta highlight. Because if you hear how she talking, she's telling you that they be trying to burn it down, take it down. Every generation probably going through somebody trying to take something. And that's what it is really out here when you got something. Being a true American here in America, you got to worry about people taking something from you. So, what's good? I see y'all in the chat. Yeah, man, she walking with the ancestors, man. I want to know what y'all think about that. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about. Well, some of y'all just coming in. Avatar, you from Virginia too, and I did a video on Virginia how they tried to not make it seem like it was no Indians that come there, and they made all of the people, if you was Indian, you had to register as Black. So yeah, it's deep history in VA, real deep history in VA. But yeah, man, I'm going play some let me put that's dope. Let me switch up. That's dope. What's the name of her restaurant again? I'm in Queen. I go to Staten Island and patronize. Dang, what was the name of her restaurant, bro? Let me check for you. Famous soul food restaurant, Shanae's House. Yeah, man, I want y'all to check that out. Salute, 7th generation FBA. Salute. We in the building, man. Yeah, they trying to put sugar in our tanks. They doing whatever to try to stop the lineage, man. So I appreciate everybody knowing where they come from in their generation. 7 generations. That's what's up. Salute, man. But we definitely got to support that ladies' restaurant because we got to keep it we got to keep it a buck with our people that's trying to stay afloat. Walter Pleckler is from Virginia. He changed our birth certificates from Indians to Negro Black. Look it up. Roots go back to South Carolina. Okay. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Now, I'm gonna watch a little bit of Homegirl here. I put her on my channel. Unpack with Janae. Go over a little bit of this. Check this out, y'all. I went over a little bit in my video about how they go live, good live while ago. I appreciate that, man. Now, y'all know I've been talking about how African people, and this ain't all African people, they use organizations, they using FBA, they using anybody they can to try to influence our people. All right. But we got a situation right now where we got these higher ups is using African people to get money that was supposed to be going to us, but is actually going to African organizations. So that title that they holding us with, African American, is seeming to where it's hurting us. Check this out.
For rental income, the money with restrictions is there. Look at this. 170 million just for nothing.
So they gave 170 million to a organization that's from the United States, and we got our FBA brothers and sisters finding out that it's a lot of money that's being going to these organizations that should be trying to help our communities. And we seeing that we being tricked and we being played. Let me let her go.
And that's just the unrestricted income. The 12 million is the income that's restricted. So that's what they have to report. This 170 million don't even have to report. You don't have to really do no itemization back to the donor so the donor can put it on their taxes. They don't need it. So this is without restriction. The ones that's with donor restriction basically mean you have to show this on tax receipts. And a lot of charities, you don't file taxes on the charities, but you have to report it. So if you are a political party, certain political parties usually do a tax, whatever you call it, so that they won't have to be restricted. This is the government, for Christ's sakes. So they shouldn't have with restrictions or without restrictions. It all should be with restrictions. But this is how you steal. And man, they have to. This is just 2024 and 2023 numbers. 2023, they got another 160 million without restrictions to do whatever. Just this a small group of people. Just to do whatever. Look, education, media. They got 31 million just for media alone. We're not finna battle these people online. They got money for bots. They got money to battle us online, literally. Information and education, leadership, blah, blah, blah. Total expenses for 2023, 164 million additional income that we're just now seeing that we didn't see the other day. Okay, and this is not included in the 70, 80 billion funding. It's not included. It's not included. So we're finna get into the African Union now. So please click like whoever that was that put on here that it started during the Bush administration. That's what we finna look at. We finna look at that now. Please click like, share the live. Some people may not want to hear this. However, do we want to hear? We don't want to hear it either. We didn't know we had been overtaken. We didn't know to what extent. However, I want you guys to keep in mind with the next thing that we share that with that 70 to 80 billion dollars, 2 seats to the UN Security Board, as well as invites to the Geneva Conference. Now, mind you, the African countries are already invited to the Geneva Conference. These new 2 seats for the UN Security Council and the Geneva Conference is supposed to be us. And here's why this is important. This is what I just found. Now, military guys, y'all gonna really have to look into this part.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you.
Y'all gonna really have to look into this part because it's kind of out there. It's kind of out there. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't gonna lie, it's kind of out there. And then also keep that in your mind. Bureau of African Affairs, the Bureau of African Affairs is the Congressional Black Caucus. So the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation is under the Bureau of African Affairs that's under the Department of State. I didn't know that till today. Well, actually, I started researching this part yesterday. Now, I want to show you guys this. Not this. Hold on, back to. Hold on, let me get my screen together before I share it. Because I saw something that was very interesting concerning the African Union. Where is it? Where did I put it? I got so many tabs open, guys. It just goes to show you how crazy all of this is. Oh, okay. I see it. All right, let's go. Let's go here. Let me share my screen. Jonathan Pratt. Mind you guys, the media, although I got contacted today by a person from media, the media has been researching this since Friday, because the person who shared my link to that program director, they've been looking at this since Friday. Bureau of African Affairs, Jonathan Pratt.
So pretty much the same thing that's going on with how we seeing the Democrat Party paying these immigrants to come and having them where to stay. They've been doing stuff like that and getting black people to make decisions and have certain organizations. Like if you don't know, the NAACP, I called them out on my channel. Pretty much all the organizations that got to do with us, Black Lives Matter, NAACP, they're all controlled operations. That means we have no power in it. We don't even know what's going on with it. They got people that's pretty much puppets that's running this stuff, and they're using the money to what they want to use it on, instead of we having the say so on what the money that we can push and control and go to what places they use it. Check it out.
Okay, I have you to know, and this young man, I hope y'all can see him because I'm on the screen, so it's kind of sometimes y'all can't see when I'm on the screen, and y'all can see him. Y'all can see him. Here you go. Good look at him. Take good look. Buddy, somebody must be pressuring him. Somebody must be pressuring him because look what happened. He quit yesterday. Not everybody tucking and ducking and running. Now that the Negroes in America done been alerted to the money. Now, don't run now, Mr. White Man. Now, cause we got some questions real quick. This was July 15, 2025. But that was yesterday. Today marks the end of my time leading the Bureau of African Affairs and the end of my 30 years of public service. Huge thanks to all of our African partners with whom we have achieved so much. You're right. These relationships.
So what they do is, I'm telling y'all, they is getting out of the country. You're going to get people for less, and they're going to run your organizations a lot better. And you're using the U.S. money to do all of this. It makes perfect sense to me.
Are in good hands with the ambassador. Uh-oh.
She said, don't quit. I got some questions for you.
Now he the ambassador. And the amazing public servants in the Bureau in Washington and overseas who will lead on advancing mutual prosperity, peace, and stability for our people. Somebody's moving. Somebody just quit. Somebody just quit. So what the fuck is going on for real? I don't know whether the media reached out and for questions or something. Oh, they must have updated it. No, because it said no. So is he? No, so he's not the deputy anymore. He's not the assistant anymore. He's just an ambassador.
Yeah, somebody asked him. Hell, it's been rumors going around that it's been money just being funneled to Africa, funneled to these other countries, and it's not going to America. And they're like, "Oh shoot, we're caught." The same thing, the same play that they doing with the Democrat Party, putting these people in hotels and motels and suites. They doing the same thing in other countries. They running whole plays with the money.
Yeah, so he's the one that quit. Jonathan Pratt is the one that quit. So I don't know whether people are reaching out for questions or what, but now people are running and ducking because maybe we're not supposed to know about this stuff.
Hell no.
So I found this old African diaspora forum, guys, and I want to read something from here because this talks about the origin of this whole sixth region. This talks about how it was developed. This website is called it's called diasporaafricanforum.org. Launching and hosting of the sixth region of Africa.
So I just wanted to tap into that for a little bit, but yeah, y'all. So we are just unraveling all of this stuff right now. We trying to like, hold on, there's money going here, money going to this country. You're doing too much, and this money is supposed to be for us. Didn't want to see that Fat Joe said recently on his podcast about FBA music and his Cuban father. Yeah, man, I dropped that. I did a content on that, but that was a good one. He told on himself, but I'm gonna stay on this topic, y'all, with these we being colonized by Africans, and it's being done by the higher up. They doing it to just how they do everything else. These Africans act like we were loaned to America from profit. This is treason and abandonment by America and lawsuits should be filed after petitions. For real. It is a petition. I'm gonna put that dang, it is a petition, y'all. I'm gonna have to do another video on this and bring this aware, but bring that petition out. But if y'all go to her channel, Unpacked by Janae Jarice, I am going when I do another video on this, I am gonna post the petition, but it's definitely shaking some things up. I don't know why Elon Musk talking about he found everything else out. Why you ain't find out what they were doing with Africa? All this money, we had to find it out. So yeah, they've been using Africans for a long time, man. Yeah, I dropped a video on that, but yeah, I want to bring this. We're gonna be keeping our foot on their necks about this because that money is 170 million, 2 billion to these other countries. This is just, and then they act like they don't got no money for us and the ancestors. It's crazy. But man, I hope y'all enjoyed this live, man. I want to put something together, man, for the lineage. And we see what they're trying to do with us. So we gotta deflect the haters and the people trying to tear us down. Barack Obama he's an op. We already understand that they got control of him. He paid. He sold out already a long time ago. But that's why they mad about us delineating. They don't like this delineating thing because you can't use black people in a weird way no more. You know, you used to just use black people and act like they Black American and go along with it. But now it's like, we checking your background. Like, hold on, we speak a certain way. You can notice when you FBA, you got a certain kind of how you handle business and how you talk about your ancestors. You care a little different. So it's like, we know when you don't care about certain things, you can't be FBA. It's like, we already get it now. But man, I appreciate all the work our team, everybody been doing, exposing this, getting to the bottom of this, man, delineating. We got to make sure we support each other, y'all. Make sure y'all at Lady's Restaurant, I forgot the name of it that quick, but I said it on my channel about 10-15 minutes ago. If y'all put it in the chat, y'all always live. They got plenty of money. Yeah, they got plenty of money to throw around. But definitely, and make sure y'all hit that like button for me. And I will be dropping a video. I'll probably be going live tomorrow too, trying to put this together, trying to have a show. Shout out to Trail Jackson, man. We're going to do a live. We're going to start back hitting these lives up too. So, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in, standing on business, supporting the lineage. Appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.